10 at 10.
Customers of Kay Jewelers across the country are complaining about the national jeweler damaging or losing their wedding and engagement rings. And some say when you use bigger jewelry companies, it's risky business getting your precious gems repaired or cleaned. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Mike has the night off. Valley News Team's Natalie Parsons explains to us why you may want to choose smaller jewelers instead.
Phil Franzine's wife has a diamond-studded ball necklace on a unique spiral gold chain, and he's been in the works trying to get it fixed.
She has a tendency to sleep with some of her jewelry on, and then it has a tendency to break.
He bought the necklace with a lifetime jewelry care plan from a big box retailer, but that plan did not work for him.
Take it in and send it to their jewelry repair central location, which certainly wasn't in Fargo.
The necklace was sent out, then arrived back to the store 3 weeks later with the disappointing news that it could not be repaired. The store told him to try somewhere else. To avoid ring and jewelry repair troubles, the secret is to go to a local shop that does the repairs in-house.
We don't ship anything out. Everything is in-house. We have 3 goldsmiths in-house. All work is done right here.
A Cutting Edge says with jewelry repairs done locally, you run into less problems than if a store sends it out to a trade shop, especially for engagement rings.
Things can get mislaid, misplaced, and all of a sudden it's in the wrong job, or they end up taking the wrong stone out or doing something to the ring that wasn't intended in the first place.
Local repairs also have shorter turnaround times. Your item is returned within hours or days as opposed to weeks or months.
Get it done, get it back to the customer. 2 reasons. 1, they're wearing their jewelry again, and 2, you never have to worry about misplacing or losing a piece.
Getting back to Phil and his wife's broken necklace, after his unsatisfactory experience with a big box retailer, his jewelry trends will change. He will be going local. Natalie Parsons, Valley News Live.
A Cutting Edge also recommends not making jewelry purchases online. Interim University of North Dakota President Ed Schaefer has changed his tune regarding putting budget problems on the backs of students. Today, Schaefer signed off on a $21 million budget proposal to the state, which includes a 2% increase to student tuition.
Now, if that money not goes retro, but goes forward, to invest in things like enhancing the classrooms in O'Kelly and Maryfield, just making that student experience better here on campus, and the students were supportive of it.
So you think it's something that students will accept?
I do.
UND spokesperson Peter Johnson emphasizes that the budget was already balanced without the tuition increase. He says the money will be used for brand new programs. It's been an electrifying wild ride in Fargo the last week. 4 power outages in 6 days. And in your angry phone calls to us at Valley News Live, you wanted to know what exactly happened and when the power would come back on. While Xcel Energy says Tuesday's outages involve a power pole fire and weather, they say there are a variety of factors contributing to failures of their system.
It's been unusual to see that we've had 3 sizable outages over the last week, and some of it's related to weather, but some of it's also the fact that we have an outside system that's exposed to the elements.
Xcel Energy says the North Dakota Public Service Commission has supported their system upgrades, the same Public Service Commission that launched an investigation of Xcel in 2014. There are allegations today that a TSA manager at the Twin Cities Airport was told to target Somali Americans by his boss. Andrew Rhodes is an assistant federal security director for the TSA. In an article in the New York Times, he claims his supervisor told him to provide the names of Somali American leaders visiting the local TSA office so they could be screened for any terrorist ties. David McMahon is the accused supervisor. He says he's not authorized to speak about the matter. The Somali Human Rights Commission sent a letter to the federal government this afternoon calling for the TSA's top commander at the airport to resign.
The solutions, the feds have to come clean on this. The feds actually is in denial, and they have to stop bullying people around and not turning them into enemies. I think it's up to the feds right now.
The TSA says it will not tolerate racial profiling, and they're reviewing this complaint and will take appropriate action if there is evidence that any TSA officer acted inappropriately. Thousands of Minnesota criminals will not have their convictions overturned. That includes a case many are familiar with, serial killer Billy Glaze. More than 14,000 murder and criminal sexual misconduct convictions across the state from 1982 to 1999 have been reviewed by Hennepin County attorneys. The goal is to find out whether new DNA technology can prove if that person was wrongfully convicted. The high-profile case from the 1980s of convicted serial killer Billy Glaze was included in that review. The attorneys with the Innocence Project were hoping the review of the case would lead to the exoneration of Glaze, who died in December. Hennepin County District Court Judge Todrick Barnett could make a ruling soon in Glaze's case. The man named a person of interest in the disappearance of Jacob Wetterling was in court today. Danny Heinrich's court appearance turned into a debate with lawyers arguing over whether a search of his home last summer was legal and whether statements he made to investigators did not violate his legal rights. Heinrich has pleaded not guilty to possessing and receiving child pornography. He also does not yet face any charges related to Wetterling's abduction and continues to deny any involvement in the case. It could have been a gruesome discovery in Valley City, but turned out to be a little less scary and a little more hairy. What was first believed to be human remains was identified as a raccoon bone by the Grand Forks Medical Examiner's Office. A statement from Valley City Police said that their initial report was based off photographs of the bone, but after a physical examination, it was determined to be a raccoon bone. The bone was discovered by a local survey crew and thought to be part of a human forearm. The investigation is now closed. The NFL draft kicks off tomorrow, and as many of you know, one of North Dakota's own will be hearing his name called by the NFL commissioner, most likely in the first round. Valley News Live's sports director, Beth Houle, is in Chicago and will be giving us all the updates and draft day rumors heading into Wentz's big day. We're also showing a special presentation leading up to the draft on Thursday and Friday on KX4, updating you on all things Wentz. Stick with Valley News Live to find out the latest draft day updates and inside information from Beth Houle, again in Chicago. And remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day.
Valley